According to the latest reports from NFL insiders, the New York Giants are actively monitoring the trade-up value and potentially what it would cost to move up in the NFL draft to select a quarterback. Also, Jordan Renan, beat reporter for the Giants who works for ESPN, just put out an article saying, as for the QB position, if the situation presents itself correctly in the draft, the Giants would be open to pulling the trigger. So we'll talk about all the rumors and news we're hearing about a potential trade-up for Big Blue, but I want to start today's show talking about Saquon Barkley because Adam Schefter of ESPN is reporting the Giants are not expected to put the franchise tag on Barkley, which means he will be a free agent. He'll be allowed to negotiate with any team out there, and if he wants to leave the Giants, he can sign with another team. We'll break that down, but first, I got to make sure everybody watching today's video is subscribed, because we're coming to the end of February, and we are losing in our subscriber battle against our rival NFC East channel, the Cowboys Report, hosted by Tom Downey. Tom, he's my guy. He's a nice dude, but I want to beat him in the subscriber battle. He's always talking noise about the Giants, so help us take down the Cowboys Report and get free, informative, entertaining content on Big Blue every single day. All right, the Giants are expected to meet with Saquon Barkley at the NFL Combine to try to work out some sort of long-term agreement. We've talked about that time and time again on this channel. Also, I don't just want to close the door on Barkley and a potential return. I still think there is a strong possibility that Barkley will put pen to paper and be playing for this organization next year. How much would it cost? Well, Pro Football Focus, they have put an updated contract projection for Barkley out there. They think it will be a 3-year deal worth $36 million and get $20 million guaranteed. That comes out to about $12 million per year. That would make him one of the highest paid backs in the NFL. It's a little interesting, though, I think, with all of these backs expected to hit free agency, will there be too much, I would say, will there be too many assets and too many players and not enough teams needing those guys? I've also heard this, and I've told you guys this before. The New York Giants could have, or they could, let Saquon Barkley hit free agency, test the market, get an offer, come back to the Giants with that offer, and give them an opportunity to match it. Why? Because Saquon Barkley, who has said it time and time again, he wants to be a New York Giant. Once a Giant, always a Giant, always a Giant. That is what Barkley has preached throughout the past, 16, 17 months at this point. So if that is true, maybe the Giants will benefit from that. But I'm kind of looking at all of the top running backs out there and thinking to myself, is the market oversaturated? Are there going to be too many high-priced backs that are going to be wanting a lot of money and not enough teams having those spots open? You got Saquon Barkley. You got Josh Jacobs. You got Derrick Henry. You got Tony Pollard. You got Austin Eckler. I think everybody would agree these are some of the best running backs in this league. You also got DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Devin Singletary, A.J. Dillon, and Zach Moss. Could there be too many good players at this position, which will drive the price down of the running backs? We've seen time and time again over the last couple of off seasons that the NFL and the general managers in this league have made a conscious effort to not pay running backs. That's been the theme over the past couple of years. I mean, you look at the top 10 highest paid backs in this league, and after Aaron Jones at $11.5 million per year at the 6th spot, it falls off drastically to a guy like James Conner making $7 million, Miles Sanders making less than $6.5 million, David Montgomery making $6 million, and then Joe Mixon on a restructured contract only making $5.75 million a year. Saquon is going to be trying to make more than Aaron Jones. I think he's going to be looking for something very similar that Nick Chubb got a couple of years ago, 3 years, $36 million. That's exactly what Pro Football Focus has for him. But look, you think about those type of players. The Saints are talking about cutting Alvin Kamara. The Titans are going to let Derrick Henry go. Nobody really wants to pay a running back. Will they do it with guys like Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, Saquon, and Tony Pollard, as well as Derrick Henry, all on the market? I'm not so sure how that's all going to play out, but I want to hear from all the real ones right now. Will Saquon Barkley be a Giant next season? Is this chapter of Big Blue closed, or will we continue to write the script of Barkley being a member of this storied franchise? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I've been siding on the side of, yes, I do think Barkley is going to be on this team. But over the weekend, try to take some emotion out of it, talk to some people. My brain tells me no. My brain tells me that the Giants are not going to pay big-time money to a running back. But then something in my heart tells me the Giants, They offered Barkley multiple multi-year extensions last offseason. That tells me they want him here for a long time, and Barkley wants to be here. And when two people want the same thing, they may sacrifice to get it done. I am right on the fence at 50-50. Sorry for being scared to give you my true opinion because I don't just know. Coming up, are the Giants actually talking about trading up in the NFL draft? We just gave you that quote from Jordan Renan. We have more quotes from other NFL insiders, guys that have worked around this league for a long time, and they are talking about Big Blue as a top team to trade up in this draft. We'll break that down coming up around the corner. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's tournament season or the fight for playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with NBA, NHL, and college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Also, the MLB season is right around the corner, and you can already create lineups for season-long projections for guys like Ronald Acuna Jr. and Mookie Betts, Chris Bryant, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, all the Yankees and Mets out there. You can create a lineup. All you do, select 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on those guys. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Check them out. prizepicks.com/CLNS. It's not just football, NBA, college basketball, baseball coming up, the PGA Tour, NASCAR, and so much more. Check them out. A lot of fun. Win yourself some money and get $100 for free when you put $100 in your account at prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. So this tweet is making its way around New York Giants Twitter. Cam Marino, at Marino NFL, he works for the draftbuzz.com, used to work for USA Today, says, I don't know the legitimacy of Chicago wanting out of the first pick of the draft, but the team I am watching for a potential big move up to 1 is the New York Giants, not the Falcons. The Giants have been monitoring the move-up market since the middle of January. I believe they want a quarterback of the future. And if you're willing to swing for the fences, you do it, and you get to number 1, and you select Caleb Williams. He is the best player in this draft. He's one of the best quarterback prospects that has entered this league in a long, long time. I think he is going to be a stud from day one. I think it would be stupid for the Chicago Bears to trade out of that pick. I don't think they will do that. But there's more than just one quarterback the Giants could trade up for. Benjamin Albright, I thought, had a very interesting tweet just an hour ago. Last, quote, if I had to guess today, pre-combine, Chicago will take Caleb Williams. Washington is going to take Jaden Daniels. The New England Patriots are going to trade out. The Arizona Cardinals select Marvin Harrison Jr., and then the Los Angeles Chargers trade out. Then Jeff Schwartz, former NFL lineman, says, who is trading up? Benjamin Albright says few candidates, New York Giants, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Minnesota Vikings. So that is now 2 trusted inside the league reporters talking about the Giants trading up. Pretty interesting to me. I also thought Ryan Dunleavy, when he went on WFAN this weekend, had some interesting things. Let's talk about it. He said, quote, the Giants are very high on Caleb Williams and his talent. We have heard from multiple people that the Giants don't love Caleb Williams. There was even a report that the Giants did not have Caleb Williams on their big board. Well, Ryan Dunleavy, who works for the New York Post, is one of the best beat reporters. He was first on Daniel Jones being signed last year. He was also first on Saquon Barkley getting that franchise tag. I think he's on to something here. He also said that the Giants like Drake Maye. I thought it was interesting the way he talked about him. I'm pretty sure he wanted to say love, but he didn't want to go that far. He said they really like him. Why would they not? He's 6'5", 220 pounds. He has a relationship with Eli Manning. He is working out with Eli Manning, and his trainer is the same trainer that trains Daniel Jones. A lot of reason to like Maye for that stuff, but when you talk about on the gridiron, you're on inside those white lines, I believe Drake Maye is the second best quarterback in this class. Maybe had a little bit of a down year this year compared to what he put in the stat sheet in 2022, but I thought he was really good. I thought he had less talent around him, and I thought did a pretty good job overall. I'm a big Drake Maye guy. I think he is the real deal. He's QB2 for me. I know the lazy comparison is to compare him to Justin Herbert, but it's a really good one, and that's why a lot of people are using it. He could touch every single blade of grass with his arm. He's also an underrated athlete. He is a guy that can make plays out of structure, in structure, as well as being a guy that you can call design QB runs for. Drake Maye would be my number one trade-up candidate for the Giants outside of Caleb Williams. And I think that dream may just be dead because there's no way the Bears are passing up on that. I also thought it was interesting that Ryan Dunleavy said most people across the National Football League think quarterbacks are going to go number 1 overall, number 2 overall, and number 3 overall. That is also what we have told you on this channel for quite some time. Also said this, that his sources believe that the Patriots are more open to trading down in the NFL draft than other people's sources. So we got a source off with Ryan Dunleavy and other inside sources across the league. Dunleavy believes the Patriots are more open to trading down. What would it cost for the Giants to go from pick 6 to pick 3? Maybe you give up one of your second-round picks. Maybe you give up a second-round pick and a fourth-round pick. But I also think it's interesting if we go back to the mock draft from last week that NFL insider Daniel Jeremiah made. He had the Giants selecting Jaden Daniels, number 6 overall. But he also said in his write-up, I have Daniel sliding to 6, but this is because I don't do mock trades this early in the process. He also said he would not rule out the New York Giants trading up. So we got Jeremiah, we've got Albright, we've got multiple people across the league talking about the Giants. Dunleavy, everybody. It's maybe it's happening. Maybe the Giants are trading up. Thought it was also interesting that Dunleavy says it is unclear how the New York Giants feel about Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, and Michael Penix. So hasn't been able to get the inside scoop on that. But the Giants do have an opportunity to make some moves. If they want to do trade up, they have plenty of assets. They have 2 second-round picks. They got that one from the Seattle Seahawks, and they have a lot of priority picks. I want to give 2 thoughts right here to kind of yin and yang this conversation. If the Giants have identified a quarterback in this draft as a franchise guy, a face of the franchise, a franchise elevator, if they think that guy is available in this draft, Joe Schoen should be doing everything under his power to move up to select that guy. Because in this league, especially in the year 2024, if you don't have a franchise changer at the quarterback position, you're going to keep looking for one until you do, because you're going to continue to pick inside the top 10. And the Giants, they have the assets to move up. They have the second pick 39 in round 2. They have pick 47 in round 2. They also have pick 70. 4 picks inside the top 70. You could maybe pair these two, go from 6 to 3. Or maybe you throw 39 and 70 out there, or 47 and 70, and you go from 6 to 3. They can do that. But also with this draft capital, you can come to the conclusion that maybe we just build out the roster. And this is the other side of the coin to the Giants trading up for a quarterback. Because I listen to you guys and I understand building up the roster and drafting a quarterback next year or even the year after when the Daniel Jones contract is completely off the books makes a lot of sense. It's a hard reset. You have a clean cap sheet at the quarterback position, and you have a superstar quarterback potentially cost controlled for 5 years. But it comes down to this. Will John Mara give Joe Schoen and Brian Dable the job security to execute this plan? I think this plan makes a lot of sense. But I think they're also on a path right now where their butts may be getting a little bit warm because the seats they're sitting on, they're getting hotter and hotter as the days go on. And if the Giants are picking inside the top 10 next season, you may have a new GM and you're probably going to have a new coach. What do you think? I've tried to play both sides here. Build the roster or trade up for your quarterback. What do you think the Giants should do? Should they go get their guy? Type P for trade. If you think they should stick at 6 and pick the BPA, type P for pass. Make sure you guys are following me over on social media at @MarshallGreen_ on Twitter, as well as at @MarshallGreen_ on Instagram. I'm tweeting about the Giants every day. I'm posting about the Giants every day, and I want to follow some of you guys back. So hit me up over there, and make sure you've hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow.